new setup today. I have a Lumix GH4 that I'm recording with, and I actually set up my Godox light hanging from the ceiling, so I have a better key light. The softbox hasn't come in yet. Oh, forgot to order that today. Oh well, it'll come out eventually. But today, what I want to show is how to take this video clip that we're recording right now, because this is great for YouTube. This format, this 16:9 horizontal. It's standard broadcast. It is what you expect to see when you're watching a movie or a TV show. We spend a lot of time on our phones, and the phone, we might view it this way or we might view it this way, but a lot of times we are vertical. We spend time watching things vertically, like on TikTok or Instagram. YouTube has vertical video now as well. So how do we take the things we shoot this way? Because I'm still a firm believer that I want to start like this, even if I end like this, depending on what I'm doing. But for a lot of stuff, we want to start horizontal and then be able to flip it vertical. How do we do that? How do we make sure that what we're creating can be done with both, and how do we take one thing and convert it to the other? That's what we're going to find out in this video today. And this is going to be real meta, because I'm going to take this video clip I just recorded, and now we're going right over here to the computer screen to see how we do that. Okay, so now I've just clipped that first part, and I've put it on the computer, and I put the SD card back in the camera here, and we're going to go ahead and I just had that window open. I don't know what I did with it. Let's go find it. So that's on my SSD card for this class, and here we go. I made a file called video, made a folder called video. So I've already set up this project. I already labeled it social video posting as a way for me to remember what it is. I'm just going to drag this video clip into here. Now, there are many ways to make a sequence, as anyone that's used Premiere Pro knows. You can just click and drag this onto the timeline, and it's going to adhere to the settings that I recorded with. And I just realized, looking at this now, I'm recording in 23.9795, whatever. I was shooting a wedding with this camera. I have it set for those settings. I did not reset this for 30, which is what I want. I want it on 30. So whatever is what it is now. This is that clip, right? I can go through, I can edit this down, which we should do, right? We should go ahead and edit this part. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly chop this up real quick, okay? And I'm going to do my new favorite thing. We're going to do text-based editing. All right, so there I go. We finished doing my text-based edit. I only had a couple cuts, which was great. That was a great take. I didn't script it. It worked out really well. Now, let's go back to my editing layout, because I like to start here. I always like the editing layout. We have to interrupt this video because I was about to I recorded a whole thing that I'm not going to show anybody. It's gone. I'm going to delete it. Because I recorded a whole thing about how to use preset sequences for your different social media platforms, because that's the way I found it. And sometimes, if you're used to doing things a certain way, you just do that all the time, and that's what I was going to do. And then as I was trying to look for something else, I was trying to look for another effect, I realized, or I discovered, that there's a far simpler way to do the thing I was going to show you to do. And now I gotta show it. So here is the clip of what I just recorded beforehand. I did the edit thing with text editing. It's all great. I'll probably still have that before this. I don't know how I'm gonna edit now, so maybe you'll see me do that real quick. But then I'd gone through and I made, look at this, I made different sequences where I copy and pasted it all in, and I did all that by hand, where I made a sequence, and then I copied this sequence into that sequence, and I reframed myself. I did all the work myself. Watch this though. So those are the sequences I made. While in the sequence, go to your sequence menu, and there is an auto reframe sequence option. And when you open this up, you now have the option of different social media platforms or ratios to choose from. whether it's verticals or a square or whatnot. So let's take the vertical 9x16 because that's probably like a TikTok, right? It's auto going to rename this. It's going to make a new sequence in parentheses, put what that framing is. I can rename it, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm not going to change anything. Maybe I'll leave that as default. I'm going to hit create. Now, it looks weird right now, but look at the bottom right. It's analyzing for auto reframing. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to let it do its thing and see what happens. Look at that. It put me in the middle. I did that by hand before through the effects panel, but now it did it automatically. Let's do that again. I'm going to come back here again. Let's close all these things that I don't need. So that's that one. Let's do another one. Sequence, auto reframe sequence. And let's try a 1x1 square. Create. Again, it's analyzing the frame right now. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to let it do its thing. And there, it centered me in the frame. It read where I was. It knew to look for that. You can actually see it moves the frame a little bit as we're doing it. Because if you look in the background, my guitar is moving. It's trying to keep me in the middle of the frame. It's using AI. It's looking where I am and keeping me in the frame. Now I want to do this again, but I want to try something else because I want to add a graphic. Now I'm going to use a newer graphic. I tried this before with this classic lower third. It did not work because it did not, the settings did not transfer from the old to the new. So I'm going to drag over this new lower third that I've been using a lot recently. And let's go ahead and click in here. New setup today. I'm a Lumix GH4 that I'm recording with, and I actually set up. So there you go. The graphic. I'm going to go back to my editing panel here. And now I'm going to do another social share or reframing. So let's do auto reframe. Let's do the one we haven't done yet, the 4x5, and see what happens with the graphic itself now too. See if that figures it out. It's almost done. New setup today. I have a Lumix GH4 that I'm recording with, and I actually set up my Godox light hanging from the ceiling, so I have a better key light. The softbox hasn't come in yet. Oh, forgot to order that today. Oh well. That's amazing. That is just remarkable. So you can do all your graphics first, right? Do all your stuff first, and then use that auto reframe, because now I can take that same clip that I created for one thing and reframe it for different things. And where do those go? Look in your project window here. It created an auto reframe sequences list. There they all are. They're all right there, and I can select all of them and then export everything together. When we do that, it's going to base off the source name. It's going to go into the exports folder that I told it to go to, and we're going to send it to the media encoder. And that's going to go ahead and open up media encoder. Here it is. And then just hit the export button, and it's going to start doing its thing. Tell you, that is a time saver, and you're going to love it. And I hope you find this feature as valuable and as helpful as I did, because I didn't know it was there. I know I'm probably behind. I know a ton of people are obviously already using this feature, but I'm not a big like social media on all the platforms kind of share. Maybe I will be now because it's so easy. It's baked into the software. And when it's baked in the software, it just makes it easier to use. So let's see how that feature works. I'm going to do some more stuff experimenting with it and see if I can get it to reframe a lot of things at once, because that'd be really awesome. But if you like this video and it was helpful, give it a thumbs up.